and I hear Ben is down and he's not moving.
Welcome to RCS. I'm Dan.
I'm Nick.
So with us, we have Brandon Ben Powell and Brian Elich. They went in with us on the rally.
Probably at the beginning of the year, we decided we were going to take brand new Honda Monkeys, modify them to our own liking, and then do what was supposed to be 4 days of riding, starting in Canada, going all the way to Oregon.
Day before we left, they closed sections 1 and 2 and 5 and 6, basically. They were on DNR land or Forest Service land. And DNR land, yeah. And so no recreational activities east of the Cascades because it had been too dry.
When we first got off the pavement, it was rough. Some people were going a little fast onto the dirt. Brian Elich.
We were going normal speed.
No,
we were going faster than we
were going
anticipated.
normal speed. You
We're riding wheelies.
Yeah.
we learned the limit of the carriers.
One less tire on the gravel,
honest
one
answer.
less likelihood of
How
slipping.
many times were you doing wheelies where you almost went off the side of it?
Every time I was doing
Okay.
it. I'm not good at them.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Every time I tried to bring it up, it either only went up 1 inch or way too high.
Some of the views we had were just incredible.
Spectacular.
Those views never got old. That was the best part of that. I mean, those bikes, you can appreciate it a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. I felt like I could just enjoy the view a little more.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Taking in the view.
Yeah, look this way. Over here.
To the left.
To the left?
Everything you want in a box to the left.
Because I had this image while we were riding, like we were badass. We were out there riding the dirt. It looks like a bunch of Oompa Loompas that are going home from work at the Charlie. Like, we're really big on these bikes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You don't realize it. Like, every once in a while when I drive by a window, I'll see it. But, like,
Monkeys
I was
on
watching the video
tricycles.
and I'm like, I can barely see the bike. Like, I can see me, but where's the bike?
Well, that made it more challenging, though, right? Because
Yeah.
the tires are smaller than some of the rocks we were trying to
Yes.
go around or over.
Yes.
Grabbing gears. Down. Oh yeah, that was fun. I had a bug fly into my helmet, and it is crawling around on me. I don't mind bugs. I don't like them crawling around on my ear hole. That's better. I'm ready to roll. Oh, geez. I almost went down. All right, here we go.
Because we went from Ellensburg to Kashmir, and all four bikes took a 2.5 gallons total.
Yes.
I think, honestly, maybe $20 worth of fuel, super unleaded.
I estimated 3 to 3.5 gallons total for the whole trip.
Yeah. So that was, I don't know if there's any cheaper fun you can have. The hotel in Chelan was expensive, and that was it.
We basically
Took 97 north.
took 97, which was I never want to do again on a monkey. Like
Big trucks that go by.
big trucks going by. One, our bikes don't do 50 or 60.
And you're so big on those bikes that if you lean back, you drop
you
like
shot
5 miles an hour.
100%. It was amazing to lean forward, and you felt like an idiot, like you felt like you're trying to show off or something. But you would pick up 5, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour pretty easily.
We drove all day up in the mountains, and we all went down like 1 bar of fuel. And then we drove 30 minutes on the highway, and all of us went down 7.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, goodbye.
Not real fuel efficient at 60 miles an hour. Yeah.
No, and I was...
They're pegged.
Yeah, so they're 4-speed transmissions, and we are all 4th gear pinned the entire way, like it's 100%, and then I'm...
Every once in a while pulling over so cars can go by.
I was laughing after the first day because I realized that I was intentionally riding terribly to get traction and move that bike around, because it's everything opposite of what you think. A big bike, you stand up, you kind of keep your weight balanced, and you're riding the front wheel, letting the rear wheel just kind of keep up. These bikes don't have power, and you need traction, so I'm like sitting as far back on the seat as I can.
Just keeping the front end up.
Yeah, while keeping the front end up, and like just kind of like steering it with my butt.
It was an uphill about 7 miles an hour. I came into a rut, and like it's one of those ruts that had it been a little bit of moisture would have been fine.
would have been
but
perfect,
it was probably
actually.
6 inches of just that silt.
Oh! Yep, we got one down. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, the problem was that we had these big rocky sections, and they would kick your wheels a little to the left and a little to the right, and that was fine. But you'd come out of those, immediately transition to the deep silt stuff, and if you'd been kicked a little bit sideways and you hit that, and it happened to me twice.
Down. I'm down. Gosh. I'm gonna move. You guys are getting out of range.
Well, in those ruts, I mean, 44s had to have made them. They were huge,
Yeah.
and the bikes were getting swallowed. And then
You
to have
couldn't
6
ride-
or
you
8
couldn't ride
inches
the
of
side
silt
of-
at the
the side
bottom.
of
No,
neither, yeah.
you were not getting out. So,
Yeah.
and you're going uphill, following someone else's
Just trying to keep
dust
momentum.
storm, and the next thing you know, your bike's doing whatever it wants to do.
Oh, jeez. That was a big rock.
Do you have air on the truck?
I can.
I think I'm gonna need to air up the front tire a little bit. It's squishy.
Okay.
What? My front tire is just
Pull up front.
bush.
Oh, I have air here. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, much better.
You guys have got me. You had me hyped up that we were just gonna never make this happen without breakdowns, and these bikes took a beating, and they did not fail. I mean, you guys were saying I'm doing wheelies. I was driving that bike as fun as I could, And to not have one issue with it, I was blown away. I was like, it almost made me want to keep it. The other thing that, I was unexpected is we know each other, but you don't know each other when you're doing something so drastic none of us have ever done. And like you said, even though we had communication issues, once we got it rolling, we were all just having too much fun. Like, I knew it was going to be fun. I didn't know it was going to be that much fun.
Knowing what I know now, I think I would carry a plug kit, not even bother with spare tires, and I would probably carry just a master link, a couple of clutch parts, and the heaviest thing would be a quart of oil.
Yeah. I think it was totally doable. I think if you had the aftermarket suspension like we had, and you set it to the right setting.
So yeah, as far as mods, I think just suspension and some clutch springs and a pressure plate.
I think you'd be good.
You'd be it.
People always ask about this, if you have more than one bike, and like it's miles per hour, like it's so much fun. And just doing that, but in a setting that it was never really designed for, it was magic. Yeah. Like if you ever get the opportunity to do something like this, and hopefully that will come up, do it, because it is a ton of fun. I will say, I don't know that I expected failures. I think for me, the thought process was always very much around what kinds of failures would cause us to not be able to finish. And so I wanted to just make sure that we had the provision, the capability, the tools, the spares, so that if something happened...
You made sure, because you had Donovan with a full-size truck and enough to rebuild the bike minus the frame with us. So
we had 8 gallons of extra fuel in the truck, and we stopped to refuel one time, a couple of gallons.
Which we wouldn't have had to had we not known that we had it.
Yeah.
Because we could have filled up
We absolutely could. We wouldn't have had to do it.
We would have been fine.
20 minutes from beer and bratwurst.
We are coming around the last corner. We can see the camera guy who is about to film us. And Brandon decided to go check out the ditch.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, that was really dumb. And I kind of feel like that's probably just on me. And I'm sitting there kind of pondering for a minute, and I hear Ben is down and he's not moving. I'm like,
which was true.
We had communication working at that point.
Which was Nick.
And Nick
all
is
of a sudden communication worked, which is good.
And I'm like, no, I'm moving. I stood up. I'm like, I'm just reflecting on how dumb I am. I'm not actually that injured.
You okay? Don't move. Don't move.
I think the combination of the car coming around the corner, I think I had been glancing at my map, and there was a little bit of gravel on the road. I think it was just all those things, and I overcorrected. The monkey slid out from underneath me and slid across all the... I put, protection posts on front and rear and the bigger oversized pedals, and all those points made contact, and they took all the damage.
How you feeling? You're okay? Bike's okay?
How's your leg? Because you got it all tore up there, is it? No, this one.
Thank goodness I was wearing my riding pants, and I look at them now and I realize how much they saved me. If I hadn't had all that reinforcement in all those places, I would have been torn up a lot more than I was.
Yeah, you would have been cheddar.
I will say this, and I learned this. I was way too close to you.
You almost ran me over.
Yeah.
At that moment, you were thinking about, he didn't give me breakfast.
Exactly.
This is day 2. He's still worried about it.
I mean, that's because I was aiming for you. Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate that in that moment you gave me a little bit of grace and you chose not to run me over. So
I hate to tell you, but in my mind, I'm going, okay, what do you do when the guy that actually knows all the CPR and is in rescue goes down? Like, what the hell are the rest of us supposed to do? Yeah, what's the rescue supposed to do?
Wait, he has the first aid kit.
Yeah.
He got mad at all of us when we got to Brats because he was like, you got no pictures of me on the ground?
I was a little put out. I was like, wait a minute. All of you were so concerned about my safety that none of you thought to record this or tape it? Like, seriously. Do you even social, bro?
As far as crashing goes, that's about as lucky as it gets.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Let me.
Wow.
Well, the best part was then you look down the road and there's our camera guy. We hired a camera guy, and they have a camera guy on site, and he's holding this amazing red camera pointing in the other direction.
100 yards away.
100 yards away. Like, totally could have had it all. I think for a beta run, 4 people was good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like there was a lot of logistical stuff we were working out, communications and fuel and gear and how many spares and all that stuff. And I think if we'd have had more, it had been more cumbersome.
Yeah.
I think this felt like
especially with communications.
Felt like just the right amount to work through, and we kind of identified some stuff that we'll do differently next time, and we'll simplify in some things, and we'll change some of the preparation in other areas, and it'll be 10 times the event that it was, and it was amazing. I don't know how it would be better, but I think it will still be 10 times better.
It was a lot of fun.
I've done a lot of driving kinds of things. This will sit at the top of that list probably forever. I don't know how we'll top this.
Doing it again?
We'll go again.
We'll definitely do it again. I'm gone
Says
again.
the one guy that sold his bike.
Well, I mean,
Just get
you
another
could
one.
buy another one.
No.